when you do start leveraging the AI, how it's biased. It's inherently biased.
Yep.
If I ask, what are the best restaurants in Austin? Or I'm putting together a bachelor party for my brother in Nashville. What's the best spot that can accommodate whatever? It chooses in its vacuum what to do.
Yeah.
Hey, I have this medical thing. I mean, I don't think we're totally at that point yet, but it's starting to be used for medical.
Yeah.
Like there's inherent biases. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think there's like benefits to being able to reduce that time that we're because what we're talking about right now, or part of it is like, imagine how many hours do you think we are getting advertised to in a year that we're like consciously, maybe even subconsciously, like, so many, all these different things. So
yeah, and it's such a burn on productivity. But to the inherent bias of the like LLMs, even like Sam Altman, like pretty unabashedly on Barry Weiss's podcast last week or 2 weeks ago, just like, we can't get rid of political bias. Like, we won't be able to. It won't happen, and we'll have an opinion, and we can't get rid of it. So you can ideally update it to your own preferences and biases, but it does feel...
Is that ideal though?
No, it's definitely not. And this is the thing that I find a little bit nerve-wracking is, even this was, older models. This is like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was using ChatGPT to help me write my TED Talk, and I was citing some like really old material, and they'd be like, no, that's not where the word propaganda comes from. And I'd be like, yes, it is where the word propaganda comes from. It's like, no, it's not where the word propaganda comes from. Like, yes, in Edward Bernay's book called Propaganda, in the foreword, he talks about, the Roman Catholic Church in the 1400s going out to propagate the faith on page 62. And they're like, oh, yes, found it. I was wrong. And it's just so crazy, because that's where I think there's somewhat of a value to like our education system, in the sense of, I do think people still need a very good, broad understanding of their source knowledge and reality. And then if they can have that, then playing within the sandbox of the LLM is super valuable. But if they don't have that, like, it's going to be the biggest misinformation machine that has ever existed. Like, it'll make Google and YouTube look the United States versus like China.
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like I don't know that you'll get rid of the bias, but how do you like encourage the different perspectives? Because I do feel like that's an important part of education. Going back to the conversation we're having about education, if I'm at whatever university, I'm getting biased from the professors. I mean, my grandpa would always shit on me at Cornell. What are your liberal professors teaching you? I bet they're not supporting Trump.
Yeah.
And it was true. Yeah. It was very true. I was regurgitating information. So it's like, I think something that you do a lot, which I really admire, is your ability to challenge.
Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed this small taste of the podcast. This is now going into the paid portion, and I hope that you liked what you got and you feel inclined to head to skmp.supercast.com or click the link that's in the description. You can listen to this full episode and many others. And I just want to leave you with an idea that nothing is free. In every single transaction, there is a buyer and a seller. And if you're not paying for something, I would be careful, because you might just be that which is being sold.